Good morning, folks. Could I get your attention, please? Welcome to the operational briefing for the Park Fire. Today is August 6th. My name is Gwendolyn Ozard, Planning Section Chief. Please take a moment and turn your cell phones and radios down. If you do need to take a phone call or have a side conversation, please step outside of the briefing area. To start today's briefing, a message from our incident commander.
Good morning. My name is Dusty Martin. I'm the incident commander for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4. Today, August 6th, marks the one-year anniversary of the tragic helicopter accident that took the lives of CAL FIRE Assistant Chief Josh Bischoff, CAL FIRE Captain Tim Rodriguez, and pilot Tony Sousa. These three heroes passed away while fighting a wildfire in Riverside County. Tim was a 19-year veteran with CAL FIRE, serving as a heli-attack captain at the Hemet Ryan Air Attack Base, known for his exceptional professionalism, character, and leadership. He was highly skilled and well-respected amongst his peers. Tony was a cherished member of this community, living just a mile from here, racing cars at this very fairgrounds. With 32 years of flight experience, he was a seasoned pilot dedicated to training and mentoring a community of aviators. He was both proud and humbled to be part of the CAL FIRE Brotherhood and working for Air Shasta, Rotor, and Wing Incorporated. Josh was a dedicated and long-standing member of our Incident Management Team 4. His contributions to our team and his unwavering commitment to our mission continue to inspire us every single day. In remembrance of Josh, we have included his initials, JB, on many of our IMT materials. This serves as a constant reminder of his legacy, dedication, and the impact he had on our team and community. As we take time today to remember and honor Josh, Tim, and Tony, we reflect on their significant contributions and the enduring spirit they brought to our work. Please join us in a moment of silence as we remember their dedication to the public service and their ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Thank you.
All right, folks, we will review our incident objectives. Our management objectives remain unchanged. Our control objectives remain unchanged. Next up, current situation.
Good morning, Eric Schwab, Night Operations for the Park Fire. Kind of a repeat of yesterday, starting up at Highway 32 all the way down around Chico and north upbound into Branch 12, mop-up operations. Continued pulling hose, fire suppression repair. That whole huge chunk of the fire is looking great, and that work continued in there yesterday. Active areas and the priorities yesterday, the fire did get up and make a run to the tune of probably somewhere around 13,000 acres, I'm guessing, up the Mill Creek drainage and spilled out on both sides in Branch 15 and 18. As a result, we started a firing show last night in both of those branches in Tehama Whiskey and Butte Charlie, and we're trying to get those down into Mill Creek right now. They had a little bit further to go as I walked out of there, so there will be a hot handoff for you folks to continue getting that fired in. Where it did come up out of on the Tehama side, the western flank of that fire settled down last night, and we are chasing that direct, trying to get that tied in. Have a safe shift.
Weather.
All right, good morning, incident meteorologist Ryan Walbrin. First off, whatever I forget to say, take the time to read the IAP forecast that we put in there today, Jeff, on the south side as well. A lot of good information, lots to cover, and I'll probably forget something. So let's just kind of walk through the day. Obviously, starting off with full sunshine, smoke out over the fire. The humidity values out there, that was our first wild card. We have an incident RAWs located Right up here, we're near the main fire's edge. It's about 18% or so to start the day. Humbug Summit up at 6,700 feet is down at 8%. So we've got the dry conditions in place, incredibly dry actually. So we'll stay in the single digits through the midday hours or so. At that point, there's enough instability that we should see the inversion break, very similar to yesterday. Could even happen before lunchtime. So midday inversion breaking, very dry conditions. The prevailing wind flow, of course, remains from the southwest. Actually pretty light overall. This is not wind-driven fire behavior, pretty calm southwest winds. Will mention for those of you working contingency, be aware of these very low single-digit humidity recoveries. Those of you out in branch 12, obviously continued very hot and dry, high temperatures above 100 degrees, prevailing southwest wind flow. About 90 degrees up on the main top of the fire. What I do want to mention is within Mill Creek, when that fire is up there around Big Bend, as it works its way around, when you read in the forecast, there's a big bend right at Big Bend. And what that'll want to do is kind of help that plume column rotate. So watch out situation number 20 is if you find yourself wanting to take a picture of a rotating column, leave the area. If you hear air attack talking about a rotating column, leave the area. I'll leave it with that. As things calm down this evening, we will get prevailing light down canyons that will be favorable for any of the night operations. Thank you.
Fire behavior.
Good morning, Ross Dollarhide, Fire Behavior Analyst, Park Fire. So I just want to take a moment and preface my message with reiterating one thing that the IMET said. We're already dealing with teen and single-digit RH recoveries. So essentially, we're working with a 24-hour burn period. We're starting the day much drier than we did yesterday, so expect an uptick in activity in the early morning when you're hitting the line first thing. So I'll begin briefly with those working indirect today, whether that's contingency or suppression repair. We're meeting or exceeding the thresholds for when you maybe need to consider stopping work. Those values are included in the fire behavior forecast, so please reference those. So moving to the north part of the fire, up there in branch 12, that's a little bit more wind prone. Whereas the fire isn't wind driven on the east side, it would have the potential to be up on that north end. We're seeing gusts in the afternoon, so be mindful of any remaining heat, especially in that finger up there on the north side of Inskip. If we were to get a spot outside of that, out into the light flashy fuel that is adjacent to that area, it will require a significant augmentation of resources. The rate of spreads will be quite high. So moving on to the area of focus in branch 15 and branch 18, again, expect a much earlier start to the day because we're under drier conditions. We're already seeing some solar radiation hitting the fuels out there, and we now have 16,000 plus acres of new fire on the ground that is generating a lot of energy and a lot of heat to start this morning. So with that, we're going to see a fair amount of convective lift early on. That smoke is going to be able to move out rather effortlessly through this extremely dry air mass that moved in. So those heated parcels will move through, get that convective lift going, spotting early on throughout the day. So this is primarily a fuel-dominated fire. It's running with the topography, but once we see that plume generation, those outflow and inflow winds will generate some localized wind from that fire behavior. And with that, please reference page 8 in your IAP. That is a plume advisory, which covers some of the fire effects that you'll see related to plume development. So with that, expect intense and rapid runs that may outpace your ability to reach escape or your safety zones. So just have a really good plan today and be mindful of the extreme fire behavior that you may see out there. So with that, base all actions on current and expected behavior of the fire and have an effective safe shift. Thank you.
Safety.
Good morning, James Allen, Park Incident Safety Officer. You'll find today's safety products on pages 9 and 10 of your IAP. Please use those to ensure everyone out there on the line gets a briefing. We're going to support you today with 12 safety officers. I'd like to talk about two things today. You heard the weather and the F-band. Critical fire behavior. Our folks saw some of that yesterday. So take a moment today at 2 o'clock, take a tactile pause, see where you're at, and check on that plan. We also put a clock on the bottom of page 9 that shows some of the incidents that have had blowups through that time period. So as you're working through those times today, make sure where you're at, what you're doing, and have a backup plan. Second thing I want to talk about is emotional fatigue. Today is a really important day here for a lot of folks. Yesterday was a really challenging day out on the line, and there's a lot of you that have been going from fire to fire to fire. So take some time today with your crews, check in with each other, see what you can do to support each other. If you need some extra help, we've got it here in camp. Be thoughtful today, be smart, and look out for each other.
Operational overview.
Good morning, Mark Breton, Park Operations. Yesterday, the fire got up, moved on us, threw us a big challenge. And as expected, all of you stepped up to that challenge, took it on, and as true professionals, moved back to our alternate lines and continue to engage that fire. That's outstanding, and you're to be commended for that. We're going to continue with that challenge. Our priorities, again, are going to be, in that branch 15, branch 18 area. Your line leadership is well briefed and got a good plan for you to take on that challenge. So I was a good friend with Josh. He was a good fellow instructor in the ops section, Chief Cadre. He started back in the team 10 days, would come out with us, division soup, branch director, ops section chief. On team 4, I would stand in with his team and help him, and he would stand in team 3 and help us. The thing that was one of the many things great about Josh, his positive attitude. He would look at you with that infectious smile no matter what kind of crappy sandwich you'd have, and he'd look at me and he'd go, with that smile, hey, Brun, we got this. So I want to channel that positive attitude that Josh had, and for you to take that, and I challenge you today to maintain that positive attitude like a champion.
Air operations.
Good morning, Park brothers and sisters. Greg Bradshaw, Air Operations, Park Incident. Air Operations will continue to support you in meeting your operational objectives. With fixed wing, we have air attack and tankers early up. For our rotor wing, we're still operating out of our 2 helibases. We have a combined total of 22 Type 1 aircraft, 6 Type 2 aircraft, and 9 Type 3 aircraft. That includes our 2 Type 1 night-capable helicopters and our Type 3 night Helco. Additionally, we have 3 mobile retardant bases and 3 UAS modules. CAL FIRE continues to support us with our daytime rescue ship, and the National Guard supports us with our nighttime rescue ship. Whether you're working with aircraft or not, monitor your air to ground. We are part of your LCES. Clear eyes, full hearts. God bless our fallen, and God bless America.
Communications.
Good morning, Bernie Rapp, Communications Unit Leader for Park Fire. On your IAPs, page 73 and 74, that is your primary 205s for today. Version 5 is still the current clone for the fire. Also in there is pages 75 and 76. They are the contingency comm plans in the event that we need to switch over to that due to fire activity. And we will advise when we're switching over to that. On page 77 is a comms map. It kind of will aid you in locating where the command repeaters are located and being able to utilize that command that best suits you. As of yesterday, 0700 hours, we assumed Park Communications here in Red Bluff Camp. With that, you're still hailing Park Communications. There's no need to advise which command number you're on. It'll just be NIFC command. The systems are linked. Each command is a different frequency. The system is linked by another set of frequencies. So you can be talking to us on command 42, and we're listening to you on command 4, but we will hear all the traffic. With that, you all need to be setting your scan groups. Scan all of the commands. This will aid in you gathering all the information as you're moving around the fire. Geographic issues and aspect issues make the communications complex. So you need to make sure to scan all the commands so that you'll be able to get the information you need. The command repeater that was put up on your last operational period in the Mill Creek drainage was taken down yesterday due to fire activity. We're going to reevaluate for a redeployment probably today. So you currently have 5 commands Command 10 is the one that's labeled on your 205 as it's unassigned. We have radio techs here for your programming needs. If you're new to the incident, get the incident clone, any repairs, and if you have any questions about the system and how, please come on over. We can discuss it with you. Thank you.
Medical.
Good morning, Steve McGarry, Park Incident Medical. On page 78, you'll find the 206 with the medical information. On the line today, we will have dedicated ALS ambulances, REMS teams, and line medics. Please follow the emergency reporting instructions on the bottom of box 6. Please have that information available and we'll get you the closest available resource. Thank you.
Information.
Good morning, Jazz Shaw, Park Fire Information. Please turn to page 79 of your IAP. In the middle of the page, you will see the CAL FIRE and Federal Fire social media policy. Please be familiar with that. Below that, there's a QR code that goes to where you can upload photographs and videos. We want to thank you for what we have received thus far. We greatly appreciate it. Moving down to the bottom of the page, you will see the Tehama Base Camp and the Butte Base Camp mailing address if you wish to receive mail. Up to the top of the page, we are at 414,042 acres. That's 414,042 acres with 34% containment. We have a total personnel of 6,588. Again, 6,588 personnel. Thank you.
Finance.
Good morning, Shane Beck, Finance here on the Park Fire. Currently, finance is set up at both camps with OES representatives, cost apportionment, and federal time. EMAC resources, please ensure to check in with OES and ensure accountability. Line supervisors, please reference the example in the IAP for shift tickets and also tying in with your cost apportionment at the end of your shift. Again, the rest of the finance message is on page 86 of your IAP. Have a safe shift.
Tehama Zone specific roll call and division assignments.
Julie Rhodes, Resource Unit.
Good morning, Kent Cunningham, Tehama Operations.
Starting with Branch 12, Batham. Here. Delta Echo, Schmidt. Here. Hotel Juliet, Tenney. Here. Lima November, Volmer. Here. And Steppig.
Here. All right, Mike, Branch 12, a lot of great work done in there. We continue to do that good work. Yesterday was kind of the first day that brush field didn't really challenge us. So continue to push in up there at the north of Highway 36 there to make sure that it stays where it is. That is our anchor point for everything we're doing in that northeast corner. It is critical that we hold that.
Branch 15 to Graffenried. Here. Lico. Tehama, Quebec, Harris. Here. Uniform Todd. Here. Murphy. Here. Whiskey, Westing. Here. And Krill. Here.
Okay, Branch 15 came out of Mill Creek yesterday, made a run on us, but we're okay. We still have our alternate lines, we still have our contingency lines, we still have our emergency lines. Get your folks in there, get engaged, you know the plan, start looking for other opportunities. As this thing grows, our PACE plan needs to grow with it. Make sure that is in place, make sure your folks are in a good place, and we'll take advantage of what it gives us today.
Contingency, Asares. Here. Tehama Contingency, Hispanic. Here. Tehama Contingency Group 3, Pomats. Here. Mineral Group, McCurtis. Here. Crawford. Here.
Okay, contingency. We have a lot of line leadership out there for a reason. As we get into that critical fire weather today, you need to make the right decision on when you need to shut it down. We've got enough fire going on. We don't need to start another one. So have those decision points in your mind as we move forward throughout the day today. Take that tactical pause when needed, get the RHs where we need them, the wind, all those things, and then start again.
Tehama Suppression Repair, Schultz. Here. Morris. Here. Suppression Repair Group 1, Dion. Here. Group 2, Peterson. Here. Group 4, Lusinger. Road 7, Anguiano. Here. Shasta Suppression Repair Fields. Here. Group 5, Cowan and Brookins.
Okay, big fire, a lot of suppression repair to do. Continue to come up that west side, working your way into the north. As we work to contain the northeast corner there, we should be tracking just fine for you guys to get in there once we get that hooked. Yesterday was a bit of a rough day for us. It made a hard run. It's still within our alternate lines. It's still within our contingency lines. It's within our emergency lines. We will continue to look farther out. So today, lace the boots up tight, drink some water, rub some dirt on it, and let's go get it. Thank you.
A few reminders for folks. At the conclusion of briefing, please go to your division breakouts. They are posted around the briefing area, starting with Tehama Delta Echo on your right and wrapping all the way around the back of the briefing area. Please refer to page 86 in your IAP for all the additional IAP messages. Our next cooperators meeting will be at 1000 hours in the Tehama room. Our next planning meeting will be at 1700 hours. And our next operational briefing will be tomorrow morning at 0700 hours, same time, same place. At the conclusion of briefing, if you're an unassigned resource, meet with the resource unit leaders at the table where you got your IAP. Closing comments, Unified Incident Commander.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Korn, one of the Unified Incident Commanders here on the Park Incident. So today is a difficult day for many of us. We all know and remember someone who has fallen. But the living continue to honor the fallen by living, especially a firefighter. You guys are cut from a different cloth. You're comprised of determination, grit, resilience, and that's how we will remember them today, by pushing forward. We will remember them by taking whatever task or situation we face and handling that. A firefighter has faced everything. They need not to be undefeated, but they must remain undaunted. Honor them today by pushing through just as they would have done. And that is how we will remember their legacy. Thank you.
Okay, we'll have communications, Corey Costa, to review the communications plan.
All right, good morning. There is some corrections on the IAP. I need you all to turn to page 75 and 76 of your IAP. These corrections are going to be for the backup 205s. What was mislabeled is on page 75, it's going to be the incident name. It says Butte. The group is group 54, and the watermark are mislabeled, okay? On page 76 will be the same. It should say Butte, Zone 54, and it should say Butte in the watermark, but they're mislabeled. They're just flip-flopped. The actual channels and frequencies are correct in your load. So if you look at that on page 75, this should say Tehama, Group 53, and the watermark should say Tehama. Other than that, your channels and frequencies are all the same in the load. That's just got flip-flopped during the printing. Any questions? Come see communications. Have a good shift.
Butte Deputy Operations Jed Gaines.
All right, good morning. We'll start with roll call down to the division level. Deputy Operations for the Butte Zone, Dyer. Here. Branch 5 and 25, Edson. Here. Division Butte Bravo is going to be a change. It's going to be Derlew. Here. Butte Victor X-Ray, Zapata. Here. Butte Papa Tango, Schindler. Here. Branch 18, Gorham. Here. And this will be a fill-in. We're going to have a Deputy Branch 18, Norman. Butte Charlie will be Peterson. Here. That will be a change. Butte Echo, Carp. Here. Butte Foxtrot, Con. Here. Branch 20, Jerry. Here. Division Butte Hotel, Johnson. Here. And he will be on a 24. You can scratch the 12. Division Butte Kilo, November, Bersaro. Butte Staging, Mendez. Fire Suppression Repair, Taylor. Here. With the Butte Suppression Repair, Derby. Here. And then Butte Contingency, Boston. Okay, as you guys seen, yesterday got very active. We all seen it from wherever you are. I just want you guys to know that the firefighter safety is our #1 priority today, okay? Continue that. We need to remember the basics, LCES. Make sure you always have a lookout. Check your communications. You guys know we've been having issues with the NIFC system, so always know where you are. Just remember on this branch 18, NIFC Command 10 is no longer there. Make sure we always have escape routes and know where they are and your safety zones, okay? Those lookouts today, we need to make sure we're watching in that Mill Creek drainage. When that starts boiling up in there, just know that it's gonna run the terrain and it's coming out. And it's gonna come out hard and fast, just like it did yesterday. All right, it's already got a lot more heat built up in it than it did yesterday. And it's gonna come with some force in there when it comes out. So just be heads up with that. Our #1 priority is gonna be branch 18. Night shift did a great job. So far, everything's holding on our primary line along the rim of Mill Creek, okay? They took it they did a firing operation all the way to the zone break up there. And then they're working with the Tehama zone coming down 172. And they're tying in over there at the zone break. So that will be a hot handoff when you guys get out there today. We did have some slops out of DP 41 and 46 that were able to get picked up. Probably a total of about 120 acres last night, so it is lined. That does need to get worked today. That is going to be a priority, is to hold what we have. We need to get in there. I expect there's going to be spots in there that are going to come up, so crews need to get in there and grid that area today. We need to have a plan that when they do come up, that we get it aggressively. When it's safe to do so, we go in there and grab all those spots or any spots that come up. Our contingency lines are going to continue working and building and improving our contingency line. We're going to be working on the L line all the way to the Creek MRB, getting that opened up better and holding that. What we do not want to happen is that's to skirt out on us and get down into Deer Creek and then start bumping 32 over there. So we need to hold this right shoulder up here out of branch 18. Down in branch 20, it's imperative you guys continue to hold that piece down in Deer Creek. We can't forget about this, all the work that we've done. So that needs to get held and buttoned up in there today. So continue the good work you guys have done in there. Just know that we're starting to see the needle cast from the burnt pine trees in there is starting to fall. Okay, so what that's going to do, it's going to start reburning in there, and it could actually potentially come across our line. So when you guys are out there, make sure we're watching that. When you're walking your line, make sure that there's no needle cast across there and it doesn't creep out into the green. Again, the slop over we had down at Humboldt and 32, we need to get that buttoned up. Don't forget about that as well. The rest of 32 is looking really good. We do have some dozer piles in the Forest Ranch area that branch 25 is going to be working on, trying to get that mitigated. There's still a lot of heat in there, so we need to take care of that. Just know that PG&E is still working a lot of infrastructure down in the Cohasset area, and then the cleanup teams for some of the structures in there are going to be assessing their areas and working on a plan for that. Yep, so the main priority, hold what we got, grid in there, pick up any spots, and just know that your safety is our #1 priority today. Have a safe shift.
Couple of reminders, your division breakouts are out back behind the bleachers. Your unassigned resources will be over here. Next meeting will be the cooperators meeting, will be in the Harvest Building. The planning meeting will be in the same building at 1700 hours tonight. Your next operational briefing will be here tomorrow morning at 0700 hours. Closing comments, Unified IC, Billy C.
All right, good morning. Obviously, significant fire behavior yesterday. We had about 13,000 acre growth in a 24-hour period. 10,000 acres of that occurred in about a 12-hour period from about 5 o'clock until this morning. Understand this incident initially for the first 60 hours ran 5,000 acres per hour. So we jumped 300,000 acres in a 60-hour period. Be cognizant of how this fire can move with the weather changes. We're in for a tough 3-day period. We've got relative humidities dropping down into single digits. We've got temperatures going into the triple digits. We've got the canyon winds. It's going to challenge you at every step. I need you to remember, yesterday was August 5th. So you go back in time, 1949, the Man Gulch incident. That's where the 13 and 10 standard firefighting orders started being developed. Also, you go back to 2008, you had the Iron 44 helicopter crash on August 5th. And then today, in remembrance of the helicopter crash last year. I need you guys to focus on the dangers of wildland firefighting. Pay attention, have your rules for disengagement and re-engagement. find that anchor point, and keep working forward. Have a safe shift. Thank you.